Hoy, why did you just go unmute
Wow.
when we're just starting?
I was getting ready to say we're waiting for
I'm
Hoy's
waiting
intro.
for you to have a conversation going. But hey, welcome back, everybody. It's been 2 weeks, and we're back on a Friday night. We're live. It's October 18th, 2024, and we are the Cavalry crew. It's going to be a short crew tonight, not considering height, but
But Hoy
Even
is
though the
short.
shortest ones are here.
yeah. Jacobs had a wedding last week, and we all had the chance to join him in his happy day. And also, Mitchell's out, Dovalina's out, and Martin is out. So tonight it's just myself, Stefan, and Stephen Hoy. And we are here basically tonight. We are just going to review what's been going on the last week in the presidential election news. Exciting stuff. An interview, a bombed interview, and a pretty funny stand-up act. I didn't know if you knew that how funny Trump was, but we have some video from the Al Smith Foundation dinner last night. We'll review that. And of course, we always have the meme of the week. So let's go ahead and get it started. And so boys, let's talk about Jacobs. What did you boys take from his wedding in Michigan?
Oh, he should have been the bride.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
For sure. But no, it was a good time, man.
He would have looked nice in a white dress.
Yeah, he would have. But no, it was a good time catching up with everybody, just fucking relaxing, fishing, hanging out. It was well needed.
It was a very nice time. I didn't realize how nice Michigan is in the fall. But definitely some beautiful areas around there, especially once they start decorating. Once they started putting decorations in the certain areas of Detroit, you got to beautify the slum. So,
well, it's hard to deny it, right? Because it's not like a couple house thing. It's the whole town got into it. Like
that was a cool thing.
Into town, there's like welcome to Booville, and they got decorations. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the community's getting into it. It was
where he lives. Where he lives. Being as far out of away from Detroit as he is, it was very hallmarky. You know what I mean? So you get that.
Right.
It was pretty cool. So it was Belleville, Michigan. They changed all the names of their town to Booville, even on all the signs going into town. And what was pretty cool too is that they decorated the town to where all the light posts had specifically decorated themed scarecrows hanging off the light posts down through the downtown area. And then as you broke off of downtown, all the neighborhoods and all the main streets, people had their houses decorated and everything. It's pretty nice. Definitely a good town to go to if you like Halloween. And I'm sure they do a really cool trick or treat and things like that there too as well. So it was a very nice time. You guys
still trick or treat?
Me personally?
No, yeah, you personally. No, I mean,
if you have the right height, you could probably get by with it.
Hey, no, yeah, we do here. I mean, I give out tons of candy every year.
See, you can't tell when they like on Halloween. You can't tell kids are really trick or treat. You'll see like one or two. It kind of turned into like a trunk or treat sort of deal.
See, here where I live, I'm in suburbia, so definitely in my neighborhood we have a lot.
He's got that rich colonial neighborhood, as Josh would say. Powder wigs everywhere.
Powder wigs everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, but, so we definitely have very prescribed trick or treat. Hoy, I imagine yours is more of a whatever vehicle's for free. That's the trick or treat. Just take your vehicle.
Get in the van.
It or leave it. That's the trick or the treat. No, it's crazy. I know we've talked about it before. It's still mind-boggling to me, the difference from when we were doing it into now. Like I said,
the only thing I have to say is where I live, where I live, it's definitely different from when I grew up because I did grow up here in this area, but I hate it now because it's not at night. They do it from 3 to 5 on a Sunday before before Halloween, and it's pretty stupid.
Yeah, like
I hate that. They want to claim,
Safety.
kidnapping, safety, blah blah blah. But really, it's just the fact that the safety forces don't care to be out on a night on Halloween. They would rather do it for 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon.
I don't know, man. Like I said, growing up, we never worried about it because there were so many. You couldn't get a vehicle through my neighborhood.
Yeah,
You had to park outside of it and walk around.
The streets were
because
full
there
of
was
kids.
no way. Yes, so full, and there were parents there. Usually one because the other one's at the house giving out candy.
Right.
I mean, and I think we didn't have to worry about it because there were so many adults, so many people. Like, there's no way you're getting away with anything. I think somebody's going to see you.
What's interesting, so that's the county I live in. But if you go to other counties in Ohio, they have on Halloween night the dark, 6 to 8 or whatever, 7 to 9, things like that. But for some reason, this county, they have been doing it since the mid 90s, where it's on a Sunday before Halloween from 3 to 5. It's really so stupid.
I think and you're talking about, how many people could have changed it there, and they're probably just like, oh, whatever, it's tradition, we'll just keep doing it.
Right. And whatever happens,
you do it, traditional. You live on a fucking dirt road.
I mean, people still do it out here, but you just got to drive, in between houses.
Oh, they drive.
Each of you take turns going up to the front door.
Just jump on his electric scooter and go.
No, there's 1 or 2 houses. What they'll do is, because like I said, our road's like 6 miles long, and people will just set candy at the end of their driveway, and if kids want to grab it on their way to town, because most of the kids drive into town.
Take the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I mean they could, but generally most of the people don't, unless they're the crackheads. No, the crackheads will take your whole wall.
Crackheads, they'll take everything you got.
Oh yeah, they will.
See, North Carolina was pretty cool. They did a trunk or treat for Halloween, but they took out the whole center of town. And it was just this big spiral of all the cars that wanted to do it. And you had this whole trail you had to get through of all hundreds of fucking cars.
Well, I think, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Same, but you got same issues with North Carolina. You've got areas of suburbia, like around the major cities, but then out in the country, it's, miles between.
Well, we lived out in the country, but like I said, like Bowen said, everybody goes into town, into Benson, and they do a big old event in town. But they block, like I said, they block off the whole center of town.
That's what they do. So in Fayette County, where I grew up, or where we were living just before we moved up here, they shut off Main Street, and there's thousands and thousands of kids that come through there. Then after they do Main Street, the kids go straight from Main Street all the way to all the houses in the suburbs around it as well. But it's an area they shut off Main Street as for people to come in and do it that don't live local or within walking distance of the suburbs. And it works out pretty well.
Well, hey, if you like Halloween and you want to experience maybe like a Hallmark town, I definitely recommend Belleville, Michigan.
I would too.
Yeah,
great community.
And we just
a lot of great
piece.
A lot of good food there too.
Yeah, and we just did our piece for Michigan tourism. So hey,
yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, the Cavalry crew says,
give us a free stay next time we're up there.
Yeah, Cavalry crew now says give us something for free.
If you didn't know, Detroit isn't all of Michigan.
Right. Right. Actually, you get out of Detroit pretty quick if you're headed to the west. Detroit doesn't sprawl very far west. So
no, surprisingly.
Yeah.
For how close we were, I was surprised of the whole area.
I was really surprised too that as close as we were to Detroit Airport, the international airport, we really didn't experience any of the loud noises from the planes. We didn't experience traffic issues. We didn't experience anything.
No, it was nice.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, I'm going to kick it off. I don't know who that is. Is that Misty?
That's Misty. Yeah. There's our viewer.
There's our one viewer.
Thank her for all of her support.
Thanks, Misty.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick it off here. And first off, do you boys remember during Trump's debate where he kept getting fact checked by the two hosts?
Yes. After every sentence.
David Muir basically said that there isn't a crime problem right now. Crime is down, blah, blah, blah. Well, did you guys notice that on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, silently, the FBI updated their crime statistics?
I did see that. It's higher than ever.
What was it?
Well, I do have one video. The first video we're going to show is not even about any of the interviews or comedic stuff. I want to show this video of basically it's Trump getting fact checked at the debate or at his first debate. And I want you guys to kind of give me your thoughts on it here. So let me pull this up. Let me share.
Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But
excuse me, the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud. Crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof.
So what do you guys think about the FBI silently? You can see that says October 10th, 2024. They basically just pushed it out there and hoping that no one had ever caught it.
I mean, come on. You know they've been bought for every election, so they're just silently broadcasting what they have to broadcast at the very last second.
I mean,
yeah.
I would like to see also the crime through COVID, because you can't tell me that all these people sitting at home with nothing to do didn't cause any crime. I mean, this only goes back to what, 2022? Yeah, 21 and 22. Where's 23? Where's 20?
I'm sure you can find those, right?
Yeah, but if they didn't make any, if they missed all of these, if they missed 1,700 murders in 2022 or between 21 and 22, then what happened to, what did they do in their crime statistics for 20 and 23?
Well, it's not really that surprising, is it? I mean, look how much information was supposed to be released from presidential candidates and they got extended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were supposed to release the JFK assassination. That got extended another 20 years. I mean, I know it's like, that's just an example, but it's just like, yeah, they're going to do what they want. They're going to release data eventually. I mean, I don't know why there's not a source that's forcing issues and pressing these, but
that's another thing that really angers a lot of people, is the fact that every time presidential candidates are pushing this information out there, or they're pushing their agenda or their facts, there's no one out there that's ever fact checking them other than the anti-media. So Trump is always getting fact checked. JD Vance is always getting fact checked. But who fact checks Tim Walz, Biden, Kamala? Nobody.
But I mean, that's the thing, though.
And here, blatantly, right here in Trump's debate, David Muir was lying to the public.
Well, yeah.
And fact checking Trump.
Well, I mean, the FBI is supposed to be for us. It's supposed to release data. It's supposed to help us. but they're
That's
obviously
why-
hiding things. And
That's why you shouldn't have a career politician who has been in almost every Democratic administration as the director of the FBI. I think the director of the FBI should be someone who rose up through the ranks, who has the qualifications, and is not a
Politically
politician.
biased.
Right. Right. I mean, isn't that the same way a CEO of a corporation does it? They rise up through the ranks. They know every job in the building or in the factory, things like that, and they get hired as the CEO. So that was the one video I wanted to share with you guys because I noticed that the other day, like everybody on Twitter was, or X or whatever you want to call it, was passing those tweets around. And here it was the FBI had quietly changed those statistics.
the fact that they even waste the time with stuff like that when the people they should be investigating are right on TV. What the fuck, man?
And it's so funny that the FBI headquarters are in Washington, D.C. when Washington, D.C. is full of everyone that they should be investigating.
Well, how can you trust the system when the thing that's supposed to keep it in check work together?
Yeah. Right. And how can you trust the FBI to actually be working for Americans when it's ran by the Department of Justice, who happens to just do whatever they want with this administration right now?
Right.
They're going to target you because you're a Republican, but they're going to make some sweet deal for Hunter and his laptop crap. Or they're going to brush all the Biden stuff under the table. Because
soon
he's our boss.
Soon it's not even going to be something that radical. It'll just be like you had 3 states, you fucking bigot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Too many cow parts.
Right. And Misty makes a good point. How can you trust the government, period? Well, that's exactly right. Especially when every department head is someone who was from the Obama administration. All the Biden did was just put people who were in the Obama administration right into office.
And and more onto that, I think we discussed it, I don't know, it was about 3-4 months ago when they put out the statistics of do you trust the government anymore? And it's only 20% of the nation trusts the government.
Right.
I mean, 20%. Okay, that should be an indicator that something is wrong.
It is terrible.
Who's that 20%? People getting supported from the government.
People getting kickbacks.
People getting government support, and probably most of Washington, D.C. All the lobbyists.
Right.
All your special interest groups, your NGOs, and your lobbyists. They're all the ones that love our government.
Yeah. All your big oil companies.
No, because they're being smacked down by the administration.
You can't even blame them anymore.
No. Okay, so moving on to our next topic of the night. Wednesday night, I believe it was, Kamala Harris did a sit-down interview with Brett Baier on Fox News. And if you didn't get the chance to watch it, I highly recommend you go back and actually just watch the full interview because it's pretty funny. Not only funny, but it's just pretty damning to see what this candidate knows and doesn't know, and how in the hell did she even become a government official? Well, we know how she became a government official, but
I'm sorry, you choked there for a second. Could you repeat that?
Did you slip and fall on something?
Yeah.
Foreign Body Friday.
Foreign Body Friday. Fell on it.
Fell on it.
But yeah, so here's a good clip. So let me get this one up and ready to play. I believe here she is talking about her border policies.
She's been to the border once.
But she hasn't been to Europe.
She hasn't been to Europe.
Guns and human beings. And
six
Donald Trump,
Democrats-
but let me just finish.
Six
And
Democrats
Donald
voted
Trump
against that bill.
learned about that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions. And they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but actually is focused on fixing
Six
it.
Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it.
Guns and human beings. And
six-
So
Guns and human beings.
yeah, guns and human beings coming across the border.
yeah.
So what's your take on the fact that she never offers up a solution? She just the fact that President Trump, quote unquote, killed that bill. But really it had 6 Democrats vote against it, which I think that made the majority of the votes.
Right. Well,
But that's what it is. Nobody wants to take accountability. Everybody wants to point fingers. And unfortunately, and this administration has been terrible, especially with her with all her new campaigning lately. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix that. Well, you've been in office for 4 years. You haven't done a thing. Why are you going to do it now?
Oh,
And
wait,
same thing-
she'll bring that up in one of our other
Oh, great. Perfect.
video clips. Yeah.
Yeah.
She brings it. Brett Baer brings that up and she basically stares at him. But the interesting thing though, is that she talks about that bill and that border bill. And she immediately wants to blame Trump, but yet they had the House their first 2 years in office, or their first year and a half or so in office. And that bill was brought to them. And I mean, during the first year and a half or so in office. So what's that say about your own Democrats in Congress and how they don't want to go back and have to speak to their constituents if they just give an amnesty to 11 million illegals?
Well, let's just be real. I mean, that just proves the fact that she has a script in hand getting ready for this interview. It's not a problem she's thought about. It's not anything she's concerned with. You know, she's just some PR person told her, hey, you need to go do this, and this is what you're going to talk about.
Right.
And clearly it goes to show. I mean, it sounds like you went and Googled information for your essay the next morning, you know?
Yeah, GPT can't help you on this one.
Right. I know this is about cost of living, but you know, them trees don't get enough water. Fuck, man, come on.
So I'm going to tee up the next clip. So here she's talking. Brett Baer is talking about a survey where more than 70% of Americans say the country's on the wrong track. But yet she's been in office for 3.5 years. So let's see what she has to say about this one. Let me tee this one up here and present share screen.
Frankly, exhausted of Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track.
That's
If
almost
it's on the
80%.
wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person.
What the?
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become,
power.
but listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, frankly, exhausted of Brett.
More than
People are
70%.
So,
What? Wait, hold
Did
on.
you guys-
My head hurts.
I don't understand that. Like, what do you?
Did you get-
Donald Trump's
did
been running? No, what? He can't run. There's a
Which
4
you
year
don't
he
know.
can't run.
He's been running for the last 6 months. You're not
Yeah,
understanding this part.
Did you
Me-
get
we both
anything
know.
out of that audio clip?
No.
Did you get anything out of that? So I don't understand it. And then she's like, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I don't
Um,
understand. Then she keeps going back to Donald Trump. Okay, it doesn't matter. He's been out of office for 4 years.
Yeah.
This is
So
that fake it
you
till
have
you
no
make it,
fucking excuse.
and we're waiting for you to make it.
What kind of a response would we have gotten in the army if we just told our leadership that, well, George Bush was running for 8 years and we're in the
just
Obama
be your face.
administration?
Just be your face.
Just Bush.
Just start doing push-ups. Just shut up. I don't want to hear
It
your
makes
fucking
no
mouth.
sense. Like, so the Democrats, even during the Obama administration, the Democrats were famous for just actually he did it for 8 years, blaming the previous administration. I mean, 8 years in, I don't know how you can continue to blame the previous administration.
Well, what's wild is Trump had his first, and he in his 4 years was able to do a complete 180 with the whole country. Like literally take it out of a deficit, and then we're all of a sudden now we're profitable.
Because he was all about policy and getting things done. He went in there and did everything he wanted to do and get it done. And that's why towards the end, or actually right before COVID, we were on track to have profitable years with taxes. And he even lowered taxes.
Oh shit.
So, you all right?
I hit my button.
Oh,
Just
so
dropped my chair.
it's so funny how everyone always wants to, all these career politicians want to blame the prior administration, but here you had a businessman go in and was basically able to do a complete 180 on the economy and everything in politics without having to worry about satisfying other people.
I don't think you need to have a master's in economics to understand that you need to get money back if you're putting money out, right?
Right.
You can't give trillions out and just sit back and pretend like it's just magically going to come back.
Right.
How much
Right.
have we given to Ukraine? Fuck. How do
I'm
we
not sure what it
expect to
is
get that
now.
back?
Just gave him another 400 or some million yesterday. Yeah. So we're never going to see a return on Ukraine.
I just want my grocery
fucking
bill
course
to go
not.
down. Stop
I
giving
just-
money to all.
I just want a lot of things to go down. If the government would stop printing money, then inflation would go down. And ever since the 60s, the Democrats have never understood inflation. They always think just raise interest rates and print money will turn the economy around when it always makes a terrible economy.
Well, how do you have a terrible economy, but all of them come up? I mean, I don't understand that. They all end up with more money.
Well,
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
that's
yeah.
funny.
What? AOC went into her job in Congress basically broke. And she
Yeah.
He was asking for money to get clothes
Just to get
to
to her
be
job.
decent.
their salary in Congress is $135,000 a year, and now she's worth like what, 23 million or something?
How
And
does
she
that
has private security and everything. That's crazy.
Security.
Security.
security? How long has she been in politics?
2 years.
She's on her second term, 4 years.
The
She's on her
fuck?
second
And
term.
nobody is concerned with that. Nobody like
Well,
there's a
yeah, and
flag or
she's on her way to being a career politician, but it's because of where her district is. She's elected out of like the heaviest Democrat district in New York City. So that's because, yeah, everybody in that part of the Bronx or Brooklyn, or I think Brooklyn, it's all Democrat.
so they just I guess funnel or fuck tons of money and go fight for fucking weirdos.
Or it's insider trading.
Which is all illegal.
I know.
But It's not insider trading. They're just good traders.
They're just good traders. They have good advisors.
Yeah. When you know how the future is gonna, like, when you predict, when you build
When you're about to
future,
have a
you know,
when you know it's coming down on the congressional schedule and you're about to have a hearing with a major corporation, oh, I better pull my stocks.
yeah.
Mhm.
Or if you
short
know we're
sell.
gonna sign a massive contract to a certain company and then all of a sudden buy a fuck ton of stock in it.
Right.
Oh, that's just
I
good
know.
trading because I can read the future. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Okay. So the next audio or video clip of the Harris interview is on national security and Iran.
Security.
Security. So
Security.
security. So
Security.
let me tee this one up and we'll see what she has to say about Iran and the Middle East.
They're allies.
Mm.
That's why we give them so much money.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the number one threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, and then several hours on each occasion, that Iran posed a threat to Israel. I was there, most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that
But those
is,
proxies were getting
and
funded
my
by Iran.
commitment to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's
in
go back to
oil
Donald
profits.
Trump,
Hold on.
who pulled that would put
Here are
Iran in check.
the
And
estimates
then
in
it was
billions
during Donald Trump's
that go
administration
towards the
that
Iran regime.
that we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches, not to mention
Madam
how
Vice
Donald
President,
Trump has
all of this money
has treated
that
and
has
talked
gone
about
in the
America's
past few
military
years,
and military service people,
critics
calling
say
them
that it goes to
suckers and
Hezbollah,
losers,
Hamas,
has diminished
and
the
Houthis. We're talking
significance.
over each other. I
Well,
apologize.
I
you're not-
wish, I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a decision.
Wow. Did you get anything out of that?
No, she's just placing blame. Again, he keeps saying, okay, get past Donald Trump. Again, over your administration, what have you done? Stop going back to fucking him. What have you fucking done? And she just can't give a fucking answer.
She doesn't give a simple answer to anything. And here's the thing, like Brett Baer is trying to say, like, money, because you've relaxed sanctions, money has now funneled to Iran, which is funneled to Hezbollah, which is funneled to the Gaza. It's funneled to other terrorist organizations. And she's not even like acknowledging those points.
Because she doesn't have anything to say about that. She has nothing to say about this. How is she going to explain us calling her out?
True. I mean, but
like, we can't get past the fact that, okay, there's money going to Iran and Iran's giving it to terrorists. she can't answer that, let alone
Well, right,
try to break it down into
right.
every single detail that she's ever done, because it just goes
She
right
just
back
wants to
to
blame Trump for leaving the Iran deal.
what you don't see is Trump has
Yeah.
been working on this for the
Which
last
was
6
a
months.
terrible deal, and that's why he pulled us out of it, because that was
Yeah.
giving Iran the opportunity to basically do whatever they wanted, and we were paying for it. And that was a deal that was created during the Obama administration.
Yeah. But it weakened all the terrorist organizations.
Right. Well,
So,
no. Well, they gave him money.
well, huh? Say that again.
They're getting money from Iran.
Right. But that's now. None of these terrorist groups would have been able to do this 5 years ago.
No, I understand 5 years ago, but I'm talking. So yeah, because Donald Trump basically wiped terrorist organizations off the face of the earth.
Right.
That's because he pulled us out of that Iran deal that Obama had us in, where she's trying to say Trump pulled us out of the Iran deal, and now look where we're at. Money's going to all these terrorist organizations. So she's basically covering for her boss, Obama,
Right.
and blaming Trump, which is what they always do.
It's fucking wild.
What do you think of? So let me ask you this. If you were Brett Baer staring at her when she's giving these answers, these empty-headed answers, what would you say?
He
Could you keep it together?
An award. Is there a medal to give this guy for getting through this? Like, someone needs to give him a 60 minutes on just his interview with her.
No kidding. Just a
Like, you stayed
backstage
awfully
interview.
professional, right?
Well, I guess, did you notice that he kept looking off to the right? So supposedly in that question and her answers, that 2.5 minute long question was where her handlers were basically waving their arms and telling her it's time you need to end this interview.
Oh,
which I'll get to that.
Why?
I know, right?
Fuck, man.
So-
And they wonder why Biden never wanted to do a debate. They never wanted to put him out in
Right.
public. It wouldn't have been any better. It's the script they have written for you. It's
Right.
fucking ass.
So last one here on the Kamala interview. This is where she starts shaking and screaming at Brett Baer with his questions.
Talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. Talked about.
So she says they should be able to take criticism instead of saying that they're going to lock people up. So who are they locking up, though?
Really fucking
Big
nobody.
bold statement after your buddy Newsom went off and made it a law not to do memes about him, you know.
But they're currently prosecuting, they're prosecuting Trump. They're prosecuting the January 6th Capitol invaders.
Have you seen some of those cases? They were people who never left the sidewalk.
Right.
Like,
It's just because they were on the Capitol grounds.
Them, like, standing there, like, holding something. Or it's like, they weren't even in the building. What?
So who's really locking up the critics? The Biden administration. The Department of Justice is you look at them wrong and they want to lock you up.
Yeah.
So they've turned this
If you don't want to go and mutilate yourself, you're a piece of shit.
Well, and I had to laugh the other day. I think it was that interview, but I can't find the clip, was the fact that Trump wants to turn the military against the public. But on that same day is when quietly the Department of Defense released that new rule where
Yeah.
they can turn the military on the public.
Yeah, military has can use lethal force to assist local police with rioting. What do they say? Unrestly civilians or something.
Yeah. Uncivilized civilians.
Uncivilized. You fucking stickwads.
So enough of Kamala. There's only so much that I can take of her. But now we're gonna show
Right.
you. Did you guys know that Trump was a comedian? Like he's
Oh
actually
man.
like he's pretty funny on point with quite a bit of things. So our first clip is from the Al Smith Foundation dinner, which was last night. And it was a bunch of politicians in the room, things like that. This is a major foundation that gives money to organizations and other I think politicians and things like that. So his first one is about why Kamala didn't show up to the event last night. I don't know if you knew, but she didn't show up to the Al Smith dinner, which is like everybody's supposed to be at this dinner.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
No, she chose not to, which left Trump all by himself.
She chose not to, but she did a previously recorded video for it though, which was a bomb. It was terrible. She had I don't know if you guys remember, but the Catholic schoolgirl from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
Molly Shannon. She was in the pre-recorded video, and it was terrible. I watched it last night, and it was a bomb. But so she didn't show up, and I don't know. Did you guys see what Gretchen Whitmer did last week?
I did not.
With that Dorito.
No.
So Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, she had someone kneel in front of her, and she gave her communion, but with Dorito. Yeah. So Trump had a comment about that last night. So here we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this about Trump's about the comment last night.
I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy. We would recognize.
Fucking savage.
All polls are indicating I'm leading big with the Catholic vote, as I should be, But I don't get up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer. That's not a pretty sight. I must say I was.
That's not a pretty sight.
That's not even the funniest of that interview.
No, it's not. It's just to get us started. It's just to get us started. Yeah. So on the next one, he was talking about the Democrats and Tim Walz, and here's what he had to say about that last night. Let's go ahead and tee this one up.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Oh man. So yeah. And I don't know if you saw it, but on that front on the dais there, the guy next to the podium is Jim Gaffigan, who plays Tim Walz on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
And on the other side of the podium is Chuck Schumer.
Oh, it gets even better.
It gets better. So here's the next one. Now tonight, so I have this one is 4 different video clips in one tweet. So let me tee up all the different clips here. So here's the first one.
I'd like to thank our MC this evening, Jim Gaffigan,
Most recently, Jim has been playing Tim Waltz on Saturday Night Live. And that'll be a very short gig, I hope, Jim. But it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Let's see how that lasts. It better be quick. We don't want him, and I'm not going to say it anymore. But unfortunately, Governor didn't hear himself. But don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was.
So there's the first one.
Coming and coming and coming and coming.
Here's the next one.
Coming and very, very strong a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become, if Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
Right to his face.
Major issue in this race is childcare, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep them away. That's a nasty one. That's nasty. A major issue. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this?
Hell
White
yeah.
Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
Gosh damn it, dude.
Your wives and your wives' lovers are all voting for me. That was my favorite part.
Dude is a savage, man. He doesn't care.
What the fuck, man. Chuck Schumer right to his face. You can still be the first female president. Oh. Yeah, that was definitely good. And you know what? She deserves it. She does deserve it. And it's been a tradition for them to everybody always shows up. They talk some shit about each other, no malice intended, and it's just a good sportsmanship sort of deal. But you just completely abandon it. Just shows your stance on everything. Like you're not a team player. You're not cool. You got some agenda that doesn't involve this country, right?
Right. No, I completely agree. Here's another clip from last night. This one's pretty good.
Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right? Fake.
Fake news, right? Oh man, how can you hate that guy, right?
Well, I know. I mean,
he's so what everybody else wants to say.
He's funny, and the fact is that he is saying what people think and what people want to say, and it's pretty sad that it's pretty tough to even get some of that stuff through because everything is so what's the word?
Where are you, Wise?
I know.
Are you at home?
Who am I?
Where are you?
Need to call somebody?
Are you still in Michigan?
Push the button on your necklace. Push the button.
No, everything is so censored nowadays.
Oh, there we go.
No, yes and no. It's censored, but it's controlled censorship.
Right.
So
it's controlled censorship by the media. And did you guys see the reports out of Meta that and the hidden camera interview from James O'Keefe that Meta engineers anything negative about Kamala Harris gets deplatformed?
Huh.
And it shouldn't be that way. That's free speech.
Right. Oh, here, I found her video. Do you guys want to see her video?
Well,
bad it
even
was.
without the politics, right? The meta has been proven.
How-
like,
how-
depending on how you go
Well,
about your phone,
Yeah.
you're
right, but do you
getting
remember-
different comments for the same video and shit like that?
Do you remember back in June or July though, where Mark Zuckerberg said that he is no longer deplatform or like downvoting any conservative views? The dude
Right,
lied.
but he still is.
Right. So their engineers still are basically making conservative viewpoints disappear on Facebook. And it probably makes sense because the people I follow on Facebook and friends that post that stuff, I never see their posts. I have to actually go to their Facebook page to read their posts.
Not so much on Facebook because I really only use Facebook to talk to you guys and some family members. But like on YouTube, oh, for sure. Everybody
Wow.
I subscribe to, they are always, that's like they start every video with, I know YouTube likes to just randomly unsubscribe you guys from my channel. So just make sure you're checking. And I found it where I was looking for certain people and I was like, well, where the fuck did they go? Why did they just
Yeah,
stop?
but YouTube's owned by Google. So what do you expect?
Oh, well, it's not different because of the name. It doesn't matter. They're all
Yeah.
the same.
But
They're
that's
all
why I
identical.
tell everybody get on X. Nothing is downvoted on X. Everybody can say what they want. You're not censored. And right now, X is becoming the actual real true media page. Actually, Elon Musk said today that X in Europe, in United Kingdom, is the #1 media social media page.
Well, since you brought that up, I take back my statement. We're not going to die from a zombie outbreak like COVID. We're going to die from iRobots because Elon Musk is just going to turn on all of us with all his robots.
Whatever, dude.
I mean, or take your fucking pick, lizard man or robots. I'll take the robots.
I take Lizardman. I think my bullet has a better shot at a lizard than a robot.
So speaking of Elon Musk, did you guys see the amazing achievement this week by SpaceX?
Oh yeah, the landing or the launching and relanding.
The fact that Mega Godzilla caught the Starship
I mean,
boosters.
that was really
Yeah.
that was fucking awesome.
I
to
mean,
watch.
that is such an achievement because what they can do with that is basically once it gets perfected, put it back down in its cradle, refuel it, put another Starship on top of it, and launch it again.
Mhm.
I mean, that is incredible. The fact that in 10, 20 years, we could have those launching multiple times a day to destinations unknown, it's just incredible.
Oh, so you can go live with the 1% on the moon?
Yeah, I want to be part of the 1% on Mars.
Yeah,
Oh, on Mars?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't make enough. We're gonna be stuck on polluted Earth.
yeah.
I want to. Yeah. Well, I want to take my white wig to Mars.
Okay.
The
You'll
first
get
powder
it. You'll
wig to
get it
Mars.
just fine.
Yeah. I want to judge the Martians.
But no matter how
You
much
have the credit score to get
Yeah.
in. We
Yeah,
don't.
you do have the credit. No matter how much you hate Elon Musk, and there's a lot of people who do hate him, and Tesla now, and a lot of people who were, oh, Tesla this,
Oh, I don't
Tesla
hate
that.
him. I just
But
see how dangerous it is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But his innovations and technology are literally moving the world forward
Yeah.
right now.
And what's
Without
interesting
that,
is
We wouldn't. There would be no tomorrow, or it would take
His-
hundreds of years to do what he's doing now.
his supply chain is all his own companies. Like Tesla supplies certain mechanics and certain materials for Starship. So, and the steel and the metal is all proprietary. So it's just really cool that he's able to do it. And he did that in 5 test flights. Where if it
Right.
was NASA, we'd still be sitting in the back of a truck trying to figure out how to
Fucking
build
15 years from now.
Yeah, trying to figure out
Billions of
how to
dollars.
build the captures.
If we're at
chopsticks,
NASA, we're
as they
still
call
trying to
them.
figure out how to.
Well, that's
blow
and that's
up
the problem with
kids.
NASA. So NASA has
That's what happens
great-
going into government
Yeah,
agency.
and yeah, exactly.
We're still
NASA
trying to
has
figure out how to get people back down to Earth.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
right?
It's not the scientists, the creators, and the engineers. It's Congress
Government funding.
and government
Right,
funding
government
holding
funding.
them
And
hostage.
Lois
saying-
Stoddard.
Yes, and it's their what's the word? Not their chairman. It's their backers not getting what they want out of it because they want a return on everything.
It's the fact that it's government and lowest bidder. Now look at Elon Musk. He doesn't have to work with bidding contracts.
Privatize it.
It's privatized. It's commercialized. And look at the difference between what a commercialized company can do compared to a government agency. That's my take on that, though. That was something really cool this week. I'm a space nerd. I've always been a space nerd. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, and I just think that's some of the coolest stuff.
Well, one thing on that too is the fact that he's doing it, which caused other people to kind of react to it. So same with Bezos. Like even though he's just a copycat and he's just following suit of what he's doing, you're getting multiple companies coming out with the same thing. So eventually NASA's going to be smoked. There's going to be no NASA.
Yeah.
It's going to be a third-party contract for one of these companies to do all of our space adventures.
Right. And look, SpaceX already does all of NASA's launches.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much over for them.
Right.
They might as well just go apply to fucking SpaceX.
So, do you guys want to see her video from last night?
Yeah.
You want to see how bad it was? Okay.
I didn't see that. I didn't even catch the dinner until today.
It's 3.5 minutes. So let me know if you just want me to cut it, because it's pretty rough.
She did a free recording that's 3.5 minutes.
I know.
Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine. Mary Catherine, it's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now, I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm a Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, because Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Mama La.
Thank you.
Wow.
Your Eminence and distinguished guest, the Al Smith dinner.
So I got to stop it right there. I mean,
yeah,
just for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
That was rough. Imagine if you were the Catholic Diocese of New York, just sitting there watching that. She sniffs her fingers. I mean,
that's your representation.
Yeah, you're bringing a Saturday Night Live skit artist on to do a skit from Saturday Night Live. You're basically
you
making
want
a
people
mockery
to think you're being right. It's a joke.
Yeah, you're making a mockery out of Catholicism and Catholic schools. I can't do it, man. That's pretty rough. That one was really rough. So that's all of the
somebody so fucking outside the box, like so lost,
so clueless.
Like there's nothing that like she grasps, and she's like, okay, well, she focuses on that. There's nothing.
Right. The fact that she wears a $7,000 belt, like $12,000 earrings that are supposedly microphones or headphones that she can earpieces that she can listen in on. She has no clue about the middle class. But yet, I was born in a middle class family.
The fuck
She's
she
born
was.
middle class wise.
She's a country club Democrat.
Then just and what kills
She's
me
a
about
Marxist.
it. Look,
Her dad was a Marxist. Her dad raised her to be a Marxist.
yeah,
Mhm.
but she can't give clear and concise answers. Look, sometimes short and sweet is better than long and run around. You know what I mean? Like when all
Sometimes
these,
just keep your fucking mouth shut.
that too. So like on a lot of these interviews these clips we just watched, she just kept talking circles around everything.
Mhm.
Look, just say, look, and look, we won't rule out all of Trump's policies or the administration's policies. Look, every president makes good policies and bad policies. It's just the way it is. You can't please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. But if that's your go-to and your key argument for everything, then there's never going to be any fucking change.
Yeah,
Like,
and back to your point, and to make a point there, what you just said, the political parties have completely flipped. The Republicans now are about the American worker, the middle class, and how their policies can make things better for families. And the Democrats are all about themselves and how they can make things better for themselves and their lobbyist friends and the military industrial complex and all the government contracts out there and the NGOs. Where, back in the 90s and that, it was different. But it's very interesting to see like all the blue collars and how much of the blue collar, I shouldn't say all, but how much of the blue collar class is supporting Trump, even though he's a billionaire. But look, he's always been for the worker, all of his construction projects, all of the things that he volunteers for, that he gives money for.
Yeah.
And he understands what it takes. Yeah. He understands what it takes to make America what it is. And it's that middle class, and that's why he's proposed no tax on tips.
These people pay a whole team
No
to
tax
go out
on
and
overtime.
Right, and they pay a team to go out and survey all these, cities and states and different jobs, and just to get a census of how the country's feeling. Right. Mm-hmm. That's why when Trump talks, there's an understanding. That's why a lot of people that were on Kamala's team have jumped ship, right? Because you're not resonating with her. She doesn't have anything in common. There's nothing that she's saying that you're visibly seeing a benefit from. So it just shows like you're staying in your tight knit group of people, this little small group, and then you're coming out into the real world treating us like we're all kids, like we don't understand what's going on. Like people don't realize they have less money in the bank, they can't afford this and that. Mm-hmm. They have to make decisions they've never had to make decisions about before. That's not resonating to her, like how bad the country really is getting.
It's just like what they did to the Helene. The people that were affected by Helene, they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. Here's your $750. We hope it makes you better." It's like they're treating everyone with kid gloves, and the people are tired of it. But yet she can turn around and make millions off of insider trading.
Oh, 100%. And that's it, right? It's like if you work for a company and they hire someone to be your boss, it's never done it before.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Well, and that's why I hate politicians.
You're having to tell them, and you're having to teach them. And then if they don't like it, they don't like it. If they're going to run the company to the ground, who cares?
And that's why I hate politicians who have never had to balance a corporate budget, who have never been in the private sector, who have never had to hire and fire. That I can't stand politicians that basically start working in the government sector and then get elected to be a politician, and then they're politicians for life.
Yeah, there's no There's no backtracking. But on the flip side of that, like even when we do our local voting for local representation, I guess, you see a good chunk of it of unopposed people.
Mhm.
Like a lot of it, there's only one person. Like you already know. Like I think we even had one where I didn't see a name on it. So I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but I'm like, I guess it's not that important if nobody wants to run for it.
Well, it all depends on what the office was. Some people don't want to do it, and others just don't feel that it's worth their time. And then the unopposed people, usually they've worked out some deal with the other party to where the other party doesn't run someone against them, or they have a lot more money in their campaign accounts than anybody else, and they're just going to spend a lot of money.
Right. And it sucks. And hopefully, after seeing all this and going through this fucking tragedy of 4 years, that we'll learn.
But problem is people
how not to be.
It doesn't matter. The problem is the people aren't going to learn. They're so desensitized and so fucking just stupid that they it's just, it won't. Like, sure, we will see some change, but not significant enough to make a majority turn.
I feel like I have the same opinion as Stefan. Whereas if the Biden administration loses in November, they are going to do everything they can with executive orders and other shit between November and January to make Trump's first year a living hell.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
and then of course we're gonna have all the protests. We're gonna have all the protests, and the trans stuff and the gender stuff was at the height of all the protests and everything the last 4 or 5 years. What's going to be the next 4 years? What's the next social group that's going to come out and make everyone's life a living hell?
Well, that's the little thing though that keeps me from just completely jumping to your guys' side, is that there is nothing left. I mean, there's nothing left to fight for that people care about at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're beyond the point of, I don't think people are going to stand up and care about your feelings, like I said, when they're too busy worrying about their mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's the thing.
Unfortunately, that's
the people who have jobs and actually have to pay bills and all that other stuff. They're the ones that don't have time and don't have the necessary energy needed to fight and to care about this stuff. It's all the Soros-backed non-government organizations that are basically giving paychecks to all these college kids and fat bitches that don't work to go out there and protest about abortion and female reproductive rights, which show me in the Constitution where it says reproductive rights.
I was watching a podcast, or not a podcast, but a video, and they were stating the fact that it was either vote or shut up. That's what the video was about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically what it came down to is if you looked at the number of voters for the year and you compared it to the amount of registered gun owners for the state, there's like 40%, 38% of votes missing from people not voting. But these are the same people like us that are complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is they're not taking their ass to the ballot. They're not filling out the stupid piece of paper to go drop off. I mean, it's hard to say that when the people that would be supporting it just aren't.
It's pretty crazy how everyone bitches about everything every 4 years for a presidential election, but yet you can't go 5 minutes down the road where your polling place is and sit there in front of a machine and put your vote in. Or when you get the ballot in the mail, you can't put a first-class stamp on it and send it back.
Yep.
I mean, worst
we
case
should have
scenario,
100%.
You can't dedicate 1 day in 4 years.
Yeah, we should have 100%, 100% elections. 100% of eligible voters should be voting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's frustrating, especially out here, because we joke about Washington all the time and our policies and our politics.
Yeah,
and
how many
like
people bitch
I
but never do anything about it?
That's what I'm saying.
That's my thing. I have to go to every fucking county in the state, and talk to people from all over, and I get the same fucking story, right? We're bitching about gas, we're bitching about groceries, bitching
But
about
nobody does
bills,
anything about it.
bitching about them telling us what we can and can't have, but exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same people that won't go and do that. Like, it blows my
Well,
fucking mind.
We'll see what happens this year, because you'll be able to see then where it really stands in certain states like Florida and Texas. If some of those initiatives are so heavily voted on by, say, Republicans, then you know that those states are the ones to move to, because you know that there's enough care in the world in those conservative voters that they actually get out and do shit and vote.
Oh yeah, and there's a huge misconception with people thinking that a politician is there because they deserved it, right? Usually, when you say you're some form of politic that had a standing at some point, right, it meant like, oh, you must have done something or tried hard your life to get to that. Now it's not. It just means that, hey, I got paid off because I'm going to be a fucking puppet.
Yeah.
So it's like you lost the respect for the position to begin with.
Right. Right.
Have you guys seen the Kamala recap? I know you just played the clip. Have you seen the recap episode of it yet, though? It just published.
No, I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Let me share my screen real quick. This is super important. Here we go.
Is it?
It is.
And then after this, we're gonna wrap it up with the meme of the week.
Yeah. So this is the live recap.
No volume on.
It's because you got to share the sound when you share.
Okay. Hold on. Let me stop screen share. Let me bring it back real quick.
Oh, here we go. Everybody, it's ruined. Worst share ever.
So I found a meme it's actually a reel that you guys are gonna really like, because I did not know that this goes on in the world.
Oh, I'm getting it. There we go.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the borders? Miss Harris. Kamala, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize.
So that's basically all it is.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much what it was, and that's probably that's probably what it's going to be on election night if she's losing. Okay, so I have this reel that I found that I have no idea that this goes on in the world. Did you guys know that there's a cat convention?
Oh, I've heard of them, but I've never looked into it.
There's a cat convention, and they do karaoke.
Yeah,
I've heard of puppy yoga, but not karaoke.
Yeah, so get ready.
We're fucking doomed as a fucking species. Fucking doomed. Fucking doomed.
So before I continue, I'd like to make this show this comment over here. Good thing they've got the iPad to remind them of the lyrics. And why are the two guys in robes? That's what I don't get either.
That I caught that too, and I found that pretty disturbing. What is the point of that?
I don't.
And look,
know.
they're voting for Harris. So let me finish this here. Oh my god. So
I don't get why those two guys never left the stage.
I don't either.
Why were they forced to be a part of every single one?
I don't know, but the back of the one guy's robe says cat lady. I didn't catch the back of the other guy's robe.
That's pretty disturbing, actually. It's more disturbing than funny.
I find it funny because, I mean, I have never seen anything like that in my life, and I cannot believe people actually pay to go to a cat convention.
Hold on. We got military age insurgents flooding into America. Meanwhile, American men, military age men, are out here doing cat karaoke. Yeah.
No, it's karaoke.
But we wonder why the public hates each other so fucking much. Nobody wants to deal with each other anymore.
Well, not only that, but now this just adds to my long list of things of why the rest of this world looks at America like a bunch of dumbasses.
It's weird, though. It's a weird concept, right? Because the whole world is making fun of us, but none of them would dare step up to us.
Well, that's true. But so at a cat convention,
It's like the transgender man that's 7'5", 400 pounds. Like, I'm a man, I'm a woman, you know,
screeching at you.
It's like,
but they're not going to do anything.
Don't tell her she's not, Wise. Go ahead. Show me how that goes.
But I'm surprised at a cat convention they're not furries.
You think the furries are like talking shit right now?
Oh, dude, straight up.
This is racism, guys.
I wonder if
They
the
don't
furries
even
tried to
realize
show
it.
up and they got kicked out.
You know what? Actually, this is probably more suitable because I can't imagine a couple thousand people in suits is going to smell very sanitary, right? I mean, I
gotta do it one more
imagine
time,
smell
man.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Like this, like literally, like I don't know what to do about this.
Had to do it, man.
My
One last
eyeballs.
time for you guys.
Oh my God.
my head hurts.
And
I
that's
can't
where we're
believe-
going to end it tonight.
God, please, Jesus, help us.
Karaoke. All right, boys.
You know what,
Well,
though? How many of these people like would never tell a soul that they were at this thing?
Oh,
probably the two guys in the robes.
The two guys in the robes are like, we don't talk about this. We only show up.
All right. Well, hey, boys, I'm going to cut it here tonight.
Yep.
You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Everybody out there, remember, you can catch us live on Rumble. You can catch us live on YouTube.
For now.
The Cavalry Crew. Well, yeah, for now. Maybe
For
making fun
YouTube,
of
at
cat
least.
ladies will get tossed off of there. But
Fucking
hey,
cat daddy.
cat daddy. And
Cat
remember, these platforms may dedupe us or whatever they want to call it, but we're gonna do dedupe us. But we're gonna be here no matter what, giving our opinion because we're veterans. We don't give a shit about anything, right?
Right.
We are Cavalry.
And we are the Cavalry crew. Yeah, Jake's not on tonight, so it's not the Cavalry crew.
You can't be the Cavalry.
He's
tonight.
gonna watch this though. He's gonna watch
I hope
it.
he does. He better watch
He
us on
better
that flight
watch it.
home. Yeah.
I know him and Sam have nothing better to do than watch the fucking episode they missed.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
We wish them
That's the least they can do.
congratulations.
Yep. Seriously. Congratulations.
Congratulations and many, many, many years of excitement and enjoyment between the two.
Well,
torture and misery.
Torture and misery.
Yeah.
Torture.
I told
I
Jake
can't
he's as soon as
use that
that
word.
wedding band went on, the honey-do list started.
Yep.
Oh yeah. No, for real. We appreciate you inviting us. Bowen housed us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dude.
Really appreciate everything, you guys. That was a great weekend. Wish it didn't have to end because it's so much fun spending time with all you guys.
It was a hard Monday.
But
dude,
other than that,
you're
hey,
telling me.
make sure that you follow us on Facebook at the Cavalry Crew. Watch all of our past episodes on Spotify, Rumble, and now you can start catching us on YouTube. Make sure you smash those like buttons and send us questions if you want us to talk about anything specific for veterans. What?
Said surprisingly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, surprisingly.
On YouTube.
Yeah, surprisingly on YouTube. But hey,
round two.
We
YouTube round two.
Everybody have a great Friday night and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yep.